a young student, a haunted hotel, and a video that defied logic. Elisa Lam was last seen on a security camera in the Cecil Hotel elevator, behaving as if she were talking to someone, or something that wasn't there. Days later, she was found inside a sealed water tank on the roof, a place no one could reach alone. How did she get in? And who was she really hiding from in those final moments?
This is a case that has haunted the internet for years, and it all started with one chilling video. This strange footage was the last time 21-year-old Elisa Lam was ever seen alive. She was traveling all by herself, documenting her entire journey on her personal blog. Her blog posts revealed a really thoughtful young woman also struggling with bipolar disorder and depression. This timeline shows just how quickly her trip took a very dark and mysterious turn. Now, this video was supposed to help, but really it just created way more questions than answers. The internet just exploded with theories trying to explain her really strange behavior in that footage. They reported low water pressure, a weird taste, and, well, the water was a strange color. For 19 days, Elisa Lam was just gone. Not a single trace. So he was sent to investigate the water tanks because of all those guest complaints. And inside one of those sealed water tanks, he found Elisa Lam's body. The focus immediately shifted. It wasn't about finding her anymore. It was about what happened. The coroner's report ruled her death an accident, a conclusion many just could not believe. So the official theory was that her mental health condition was the key factor here. But yeah, the case was far from closed for all the internet sleuths out there. I mean, access was restricted to staff with keys, and the alarms were supposedly on. And get this, hotel staff needed a ladder just to look inside the tanks. Right, because a search team had been on the roof early on, but found nothing. It became way more than a news story. It was now a cultural phenomenon. You can just see how her story has been retold in movies, TV, and music. The court decided the hotel couldn't have possibly foreseen this ever happening. Which leaves us with one final, haunting question about where the truth really lies.
The lid of the water tank was heavy, made of solid steel and supposedly locked. Yet, Elisa was found inside without her clothes, which were floating beside her. Was this a tragic mental health crisis, or did the dark history of the Cecil Hotel finally claim another victim? The police called it an accident, but the traces left behind tell a much darker story.
Let's go back to February 2013, to a place in Los Angeles with a pretty dark reputation already, the Cecil Hotel. This hotel was about to become the center of a mystery so strange, so unsettling, it would grab the attention of the entire world and, honestly, never really let go.
It all started with something that sounds like it's straight out of a horror movie. Guests at the hotel started complaining. First, it was weak water pressure, but then it got way worse. The water coming out of the taps was black, and it had this weird, kind of Swedish, foul taste.
Yeah, you heard that right.
It was a seriously disturbing problem that was about to blow the lid off an absolute nightmare.
So naturally, someone had to go check it out. A maintenance worker went up to the roof to take a look at the hotel's huge water tanks. He was probably just expecting a routine plumbing issue, another day at the office. He had absolutely no idea he was about to stumble into the heart of a mystery that people would be debating for years to come.
What he found was beyond anyone's worst fears. Inside one of those sealed water tanks, he discovered a body. It was soon identified as Elisa Lam, a 21-year-old tourist from Canada who had been reported missing weeks before. Suddenly, the disgusting water made horrifying sense. But this grim discovery just opened up an even bigger, more confusing question. How in the world did she get in there?
To even start to unravel this, we really need to know who Elisa Lam was. She wasn't just a victim in a headline. She was a real person, a young woman on a big adventure, full of life, but also dealing with her own complex struggles, which she was surprisingly open about with the world.
So, Elisa was a student from the University of British Columbia. She was on a solo trip down the West Coast, something a lot of us dream of doing. She was really active online, with a blog where she talked about fashion, her life, and with incredible honesty, her personal battles with bipolar disorder and depression. And that detail, her diagnosis, would become a really central piece of the official investigation.
Looking at her last few days, you can see a really troubling picture start to form.
She gets to the Cecil on January 28th. Just one day later, she's moved from a shared room into a private one because her roommates complained about what they called odd behavior. Then, on January 31st, everything changes. She'd been calling her parents every single day of her trip, and on that day, the calls just stopped. She was gone.
You know, something that gives us a real window into her mind is this quote she had on our blog. It's from the author Chuck Palahniuk. It speaks to this feeling of searching, maybe some deep anxiety that she was grappling with. Reading it now, knowing what happened, it's just incredibly haunting. With the investigation going nowhere, the police decided to release the last known footage they had of Elisa, and this is the moment the case exploded. It became a global obsession. We're talking about the surveillance video from inside an elevator at the Cecil Hotel.
So, what are we really seeing in this video? I mean, the footage is just deeply, deeply unsettling. It's silent, it's grainy, and for about 2.5 minutes, you're left just asking yourself, what on earth is going on here? Is she playing a game? Is she terrified of something? Or is it something else completely? Okay, let's break it down. She walks in and presses a whole bunch of buttons, but for some reason the elevator doors just won't close. So she starts peeking out into the hall, then quickly jumps back in. At one point, she's hiding in the corner, like she's trying to get away from someone just outside. Her hand gestures are bizarre. It almost looks like she's talking to someone we can't see. Then she just walks away. And only then, after she's gone, do the doors finally shut. It's just profoundly weird.
As you can imagine, the internet went into overdrive. Theories popped up everywhere. A lot of people were convinced she was hiding from someone, a pursuer who was just off camera. Others thought her behavior pointed to a severe psychotic episode, maybe linked to her bipolar disorder. And of course, many just assumed she was on drugs. The video gave us zero clear answers, just a million more questions.
So, weeks later, with all this speculation flying around, the LA County Coroner's Office finally released its official report. This was supposed to be the moment we got clarity, the moment the mystery was solved. But for the thousands of people following this case online, it felt like it only made things murkier.
Here it is, the official ruling: accidental drowning. The coroner stated there was no evidence of foul play, but, and this was a huge but, they listed her bipolar disorder as a significant contributing factor. Basically, they suggested her mental state led to this tragic accident.
And the autopsy report seemed to back this up. Her body was found naked, but crucially, there were no signs of physical trauma or sexual assault. Also really important, no illegal drugs were in her system. The toxicology report did find her prescription medications, but the levels were so low it suggested she might have been under-medicating or had stopped taking them entirely, which could absolutely trigger a psychotic episode.
So when you put all that together, this is the official police theory. They believe Elisa, likely in the midst of a psychotic episode, somehow got access to the hotel roof. From there, she climbed a 10-foot ladder up to the water tanks, managed to open the heavy lid, and got inside on her own. Tragically, she then drowned, perhaps unable to get out.
But you knew there was a but coming, right? That's not where this story ends, because for so many people, that official explanation just doesn't add up. It's riddled with inconsistencies, and those unanswered questions are why this case has become one of the most enduring mysteries of our time.
Let's put these things side by side. The official story says she probably used the fire escape, but skeptics immediately point out that the main doors to the roof were locked and had alarms. And then, there's the biggest question of all. That water tank lid was incredibly heavy. How could a woman of her size, lifted by herself, get in and then somehow have it close after her? It just seems impossible to imagine.
And let's circle back to that infamous elevator video. It turns out, internet sleuths noticed some really strange things. The timestamp is digitally blacked out, which is odd, but even more damning, it looks like the video's playback speed was altered, and that almost a full minute of footage might be missing right from the middle. This has fueled all sorts of cover-up theories, that someone else was with her and was edited out. So in the end, we're left with this huge, unanswered question. Was the death of Elisa Lam a terrible, tragic accident? A perfect storm where her untreated mental illness led her to a bizarre and unthinkable end? Or are all these lingering doubts, the strange video, the locked doors, that heavy lid, clues to something far more sinister? An unsolvable puzzle where the most important pieces are still missing. What do you think really happened?
The elevator door closed, and Elisa Lam became a modern urban legend. Some secrets are buried deep, and some are drowned in silence. Stay tuned, because case number 5 takes us to the freezing wilderness, the Taylor Pass incident, where a group of hikers met an end so violent it remains unexplained to this day. This is Terminal Trace.